In this video, we're going to talk about the paraeducator position and what to expect in the role. Hi y'all, this is Rudy, CEO of PolyStaffing. In this series, we're going to be exploring behavioral health careers and how to succeed in them. Whether you're a parent of a student with special needs or looking for a career in the school space, it's important to understand the paraeducator role. This can also be referred to as a paraprofessional, an instructional aide, a non-instructional aide, or a classroom aide. Before we get into the details, here's some basic qualifications for the role. One thing that they're going to be looking for when hiring is going to be 1 year of professional childcare experience. This can be in a licensed daycare, or a preschool, a private school, or 1 year of school experience. Another thing that you'd like to collect is references. So while you're working in these positions, be sure that you're getting some contact information from people that you work with and have a good relationship with. You're going to want a clear criminal background record since you're working with government organizations and schools, and then either 2 years worth of college credits, an associate's degree, or passing a local reading, writing, math assessment as specified on the job position. Paraeducators can have various responsibilities depending on the funding and population density of the school district. Oftentimes, paraeducators will be working with a single student, a large classroom, or with a team of floating nurses and therapists, or making sure that the student is able to participate in the learning environment. This position is a great choice for an entry-level candidate who would like to gain classroom experience, and you're going to find yourself assisting different specialties and learning about different roles on the job too. So you may be asking what kind of roles or experiences could help you succeed in landing a job as a paraprofessional: camp counselor, daycare assistant, preschool assistant, or a teacher's aide at a school. These are really transferable skills. Resolving social conflicts, assisting with development, and guiding students through activities is going to be extremely helpful with these types of roles. Another role that tends to do well transitioning into becoming a paraprofessional is a CNA for either pediatric population or an elderly home. Oftentimes, students don't need help with instructional assistance. They need help with moving around the school if they're injured or in a wheelchair or have other mobility constraints. Other than that, you may be interested in this role if you're a private babysitter. However, one disclaimer with that is you're going to have a pretty hard time getting references and making sure you can verify those depending on the employer. Generally, private babysitting is not accepted as job experience for paraprofessionals. So, what do you want to wear in this role? I would recommend wearing business casual clothing as well as shoes that you can move around in. You want to be wearing something that's school appropriate, follows the dress code, avoid pajamas and sweatpants and inappropriate clothing. And the key to this is just wearing clothing that isn't really constricting in case your student runs away, and also wearing clothes that are comfortable and not possibly avoiding really long nails too, because that could get in the way of a few things you might be asked to do. So a few other things to know. You may be asked to toilet in this position, and when you're asked to toilet, you definitely should agree. However, I would ask someone for some training for this if you haven't done it before, and try to get additional help if you need to lift up your student or they have any mobility restraints too. There's a high chance that your school is understaffed, so you may be asked to be flexible in the position and assist with other classrooms or assist other teachers. That's pretty regular for the role. You should not be administering any medical procedures or medication unless you have a form signed saying that you were trained and you're being supervised for that particular procedure. You may be asked to assist with transporting the student to and from school. Here are a few pros and cons about the position. If you're a primary care provider or a kiddo, for example, it's a really great position that can help you keep up with your childcare duties while also working. Oftentimes the breaks will match up with the same breaks that your student has. Students tend to have a lot more breaks in a year than regular positions do too. So another benefit is that special needs work experience and classroom experience is pretty highly sought after in quite a few settings. And you can probably learn some new skills working with specialists at the school site. And then another benefit of this position is you can work other positions or increase the amount of education or certifications you're getting while you're at this because of the hours. A few cons: this can be a really high stress position. You're dealing with a lot of changes. School districts are very hectic places at times. That's just something to keep in mind. Career advancement may be capped without further education or certifications for paraprofessionals. And that's just something that you're always going to have to work around. And if you're one-to-one and you work with a student, your work schedule may be disrupted if the student ends up at a hospital or being suspended from school too. Here are some other positions that you might be interested in working if you're a paraeducator. RBT position is definitely something you should check out along with other ABA positions, including the BCBA. Special education teaching as well as regular teaching. You should be trying to get additional education while you're a classroom aide so you can advance through your career. Please like and subscribe for additional information about behavioral health positions, and ask any questions below if you have any questions about the role.